Life is a journey,
not a destination.
And you don't need to go it alone.
Join me for practical tips and strategies on using mindfulness techniques and creating mindset shifts that can reduce stress, improve productivity, and give you a fresh perspective on work and life.
This is a Candy Factory Mini.
Mastering the Mindful Mindset
with Jose Johnson.
Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Mastering the Mindful Mindset. I'm your host, Jose Johnson. Today, we're going to talk about changing the narrative. But first, let's set the stage properly by doing a little reset. Now, if you watch previous episodes, you'll remember this exercise. If you haven't watched any yet, don't worry. You can still easily follow along. Just make sure you go back to episode 1 and watch that later so you can learn all of the details. So either sitting or standing, put one hand just below your belly button, other hand on the small of your back. Imagine your abdomen's like a big balloon, and we're going to take a nice deep breath in, filling the belly. So we begin with a deep breath in, and then let it out. And again, a nice deep breath in. And let it go. And one more deep breath in. And exhale, relax, let it go. All right, so hopefully that little reset has allowed you to clear your mind and get you in the right state of mind for our time together today. Now, let's talk about changing the narrative of your life. In his play, As You Like It, William Shakespeare wrote, "All the world's a stage, and all men and women are merely players." Now, I'm certainly not a Shakespearean scholar, but part of what the bard was trying to convey is that we go through different phases in our lives. Shakespeare actually described them as 7 different acts, and that the role of the character that we play changes based on where we are in the storyline. This is something you can easily see if you just think back on your behavior over the years. How you act as a child should be different from how you act as an adult. But some people also take this quote to mean that we have no control over our lives, that we're merely acting out a script that has been written for us by some unseen hand, that we have no control over our destiny. There's the rub. While we may be actors playing out our roles in the story of our lives, we're also the authors of that story. And every moment we have the ability to throw in a plot twist, to change the tone, to change the narrative, to make our lives something completely different. So, how do you do that? Well, if we keep with the acting analogy, there are 2 ways that you can create change. Change your performance or change the script. A great actor is able to convincingly display a wide range of emotions. They not only make you believe that they're feeling happy or sad, they make you feel the same way. But the point here is that it's more than just the words that we say. It's how they say them. It's how they stand. It's how they look. It's how they act. And this all comes from the way that they interpret the script. So let's say there's a scene where our star is on their way to an important meeting and they're running a little bit late. And as they're driving frantically to get to their appointment on time, they spill a cup of hot coffee on their lap. So they have to walk into their meeting 5 minutes late with this huge stain all over the front of their body. Now, how would you play that scene? Well, if you're an actor, you might ask, well, what's my motivation? And this is the critical question because it determines your approach. Is this a comedy or a drama? What's the meaning of this scene? You see, the way that they view the scene is more important than the words themselves. And in our lives, the events we experience are like the words on that script. We have the power to change how we act in response to that situation. So again, how would you play that scene? Would you be angry? Would you look at it as a sign that the universe is conspiring against you? Or would you just laugh at it, roll with it, improvise and make the best of the situation? This is what I mean when I say it is what it is but it becomes what you make it. So here's your first flip the script exercise. It's super simple, but if you develop mastery of this skill, you might not even need any of the other exercises I'm going to share with you. Here's how it works. Think about whatever situation that you're currently dealing with that's causing you stress, anxiety, fear, anger, or any other unproductive emotion. Now, just flip it 180 degrees. Find one possible outcome that is the exact opposite of what you perceive your current reality as being, and then start acting as if that's the direction that things are headed. Now, you may be saying to yourself, that's a really stupid suggestion. It's just positive thinking. Just thinking that things will be better doesn't make it happen. Well, let's stop and think about that for a second. You're right that just thinking something good is going to happen will make it happen. But don't most of us do the exact opposite? I'm sure you know someone very well, and maybe it's the person that you look at in the mirror every day, who no matter what happens will find the negative in the situation, who allows their actions to be dictated by future outcomes that they are certain will happen, even though there's usually at least a 50% chance that things could go the other way. So if our negative outlook on a situation can drive us to act in a way that supports that belief, that turns that opinion into a reality, why can't you use that same power for good? You can. You just need to decide to do it. Like I said, just thinking about something good or bad will not make it happen, but our thoughts shape our beliefs, and our beliefs drive our actions, and our actions create our results. So to get a different result, you must make different decisions and take different actions. And the only way to do that is to think about things in a different fashion. So to get to a 180-degree change in your results, flip your script 180 degrees. In episode 10, I talked about the power of time travel, how we can revisit the past from our current position and rewrite the meaning of an event, not by erasing it. You can't undo what's already been done, but you can change the meaning of it. You have the ability to flip the script and change the tone of your story. You can create a new feel for your life. You have the ability to go from a tense and dark drama to an uplifting and inspirational story. When you flip the script, it's important to keep in mind the words that you use. Think about your dialogue. How are you defining your situation? So try this exercise. I call this the rewrite. You're going to need a little time to do this one. And you'll also need something to write on, a piece of paper or a journal, or even just use your phone or computer. Start by thinking about a time in your life when things didn't go the way that you would have liked them to. Something that you wish you could change. It could be something from your childhood or just 10 minutes ago. Try to see that scene play out in front of you. Try to watch yourself like you're watching a character in a movie. Do your best to remember how you felt, how you responded, and what it's meant to you. And write down those memories and feelings. Think about it like you're writing the script for a scene that's going to be filmed for a biography of your life. Use as many descriptive words as you can to describe the situation. Now think about an alternate take for that scene. Your film has suddenly been turned from a tragedy to an adventure or romantic work. How would you write that scene to make it fit with the new tone of your production? Now, the same event will occur, but how you would describe things, how you would motivate your character if this plot point was going to resolve itself in a different way. So, for example, you might go from, my parents never gave me the support that I needed, that's why I have such poor self-esteem, to something like, my parents never gave me the support that I needed, but because of that, I had to learn to work really hard and rely upon myself. And this has inspired me to give others the kind of support that I wish that I had gotten. See, the events of the past haven't changed, just the way that the story develops from that moment. Spoiler alert, have you ever read an article about a movie and saw those words? It's a warning that important details about the plot are about to be revealed. Details that would detract from the surprise when that pivotal moment happens. You know what's going to happen, so you aren't caught off guard like everyone else. But there's a certain joy that comes from recognizing the importance of a seemingly meaningless event, like when you pick up on a subtle clue that will eventually become a pivotal point in the story. This is one of the reasons I love to rewatch movies, particularly the ones with lots of plot twists. When you know what's going to happen, you can really see how the writer put things together. all the brilliantly hidden hints and clues become crystal clear. You not only know what the characters are going to do, you understand why that was the only choice. So let's add a spoiler alert with flipping the script. Let's think about a situation that's troubling you. It could be something in the past or something that you're facing right now. Whatever it is, you know that things are not the way you want them to be. So first, flip the script. This means you have to decide what outcome you really want. What's the new tone of your life story? Do you want to create a story of passion and romance? Do you want to star in a heartwarming story about defying the odds to achieve your goals? What is the change you want to create? Now, once you have the end result in mind, think about a situation that matches those results. Maybe it's in a different area of your life, or maybe it's in the life of someone else. Just try to find an example of how a similar situation ended up creating different results than what you're currently getting. Study the situation and look for clues. What are the similar plot points? How did you manage to make a difficult situation in the past work out for the best? How did someone else use the same type of events to create a positive experience in their lives? Now, look at those points and the action steps that surrounded them and apply them to your situation. See things from the perspective that the current difficulty is just setting you up for future success. Now, the final exercise is something I like to call the De Niro Method. Now, Robert De Niro is probably one of the greatest actors of our generation, and he's a perfect example of the method acting school. Method actors strive to completely immerse themselves in their roles. They study their roles so thoroughly that they actually become their character. So once you know how you want everything to play out in the end, what you want your script to be, you'll need to do a little bit of method acting to turn it into a masterpiece. Create in your mind a version of yourself that has already accomplished everything you desire, that has all of the knowledge and skills that you would need to achieve your goal or overcome your adversity. You can even model your character after someone you admire, like a successful celebrity, business person, leader, or even just someone that you respect. Think about the actions your character would take to get from here to there. Think about how they would respond to the current situation. And if you've modeled your character after someone famous, you can actually study their lives, read about them, listen to interviews with them, try to get into their heads and understand how their brains work, how they look at life. Now, like a great method actor, step into your character. And instead of acting with fear and uncertainty, begin acting from a place of knowing that things are all plot twists that are designed to get you to where you need to be. How would your character respond to your current situation? Would they handle it with the cool confidence of an action hero? Would they be like a character in a musical that finds a way to turn things into a beautiful song that touches the hearts of others? What is the next step your character would take? Now, simply take it. So thanks for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed our time together and that you have some new ideas on how you can flip the script in your life. If you have a question or a topic you'd like me to cover in a future episode, just drop it in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer it and help you out. Make sure you subscribe and share this episode with someone that you feel could benefit from this information. And also, please take time to check out all of the other great programming brought to you here on the Candy Factory Collective. So until next time, remember, it is what it is, but it becomes what you make it. So make it great. Mastering the Mindful Mindset is part of the Candy Factory mini-series and is a proud member of the Candy Factory Collective. You can find the show streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, LinkedIn, and you can subscribe to the audio version anywhere you get your podcast.
Jose Johnson has traveled the world competing and teaching martial arts.
He's an entrepreneur, musician, author, and speaker.
Check out Jose's other podcast,
The Trumpet Gurus Hang,
and learn more about his book,
Mindfulness Secrets, at his website,
josejohnson.com.
Mastering the Mindful Mindset is produced by the Candy Factory Collective.
at the Candy Factory co-working campus in Lancaster, PA.
Our music was written and recorded by Jose. Production support by Anna Tran.
administrative support by Ann Kirby, Ariana Henderson,
Krisha Martzel, Jason Mundock, and Robert Diggs.
Notes and links can be found at the show post at our website,
CandyFactoryCollective.com.
Candy Factory.
Collective.